Hi everyone, it's Asia here, Lemon Creation, and today I have for you a new abstract page made with granulated watercolors. So today I'm working on the Arches watercolor paper. It's 300 grams watercolor paper, which is quite smooth, which is gonna be very useful for me later because I'm gonna be adding a little bit of stamping. So the smoother, the better. And it's a cotton paper. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. That's the best watercolor paper I have. And because it's the paper on the expensive side, not the most expensive, but more expensive than the normal watercolor paper, I work with it quite rarely because simply I'm afraid to just waste it. But I love working on it, and my favorite technique of working on the cotton paper is to actually do wet on dry, so my paper stays as dry as possible, and I use just the brush with the paint because that gives me the strokes get so nice at the end. When you put your brush on the paper at the beginning, you have the color which goes really nicely on the paper, and at the end, because the paper is dry and the brush doesn't have any more of the paint, it kind of leaves this kind of rugged lines, and I love it so much. But first, we come back to the watercolors. I'm gonna be using Nevskaya Palitra watercolors, and those are granulated watercolors. I love very much. You're gonna get a link to these watercolors in the description box below. You can buy them on Amazon. And I'm gonna be using two colors, dark blue shadow and blue shadows, and they are on the dark blue side. And I love lately working with dark blue colors. I find them very, very elegant for the watercolors. And today I decided to do some lines. And these lines turn, and probably some of you are gonna tell me that in the comments, a little bit into waves, but I kind of love it. I love the shapes like that. I love long shapes. And I'm thinking that one of my next projects is gonna probably be the lines, but done not vertically, but rather horizontally. Something else, but kind of I want to make a kind of a series of abstract watercolor paintings just with lines to see how that works. Maybe I'll even frame them if they really work nicely at some point, because I don't know, this one I really like at the end. So as you can see, I'm not doing too much. I am adding the color, and I am actually experimenting as always. So I'm adding first water, then the color, then I'm adding just the rest of the color which I have on the brush, and then I'm adding the water. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make the colors run with the water. And I'm using two different brushes from Fuumuui. You're gonna get a list of full products which I'm using in this video in the description box below this video, so check that out. And basically what I'm gonna be doing all along this video is just playing with the brush, with the water, with the paint, mixing them a little bit together, and basically playing with water, playing with paints, and experimenting as much as I can. I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of music, and I'll come back later on. So here we go. That's the dried project already. It looks absolutely beautiful. The granulated watercolors are so beautiful. I love the effect they are giving or leaving on the page, and all depends on the amount of water you are using with them. Also on the paper, of course, but mostly the water. And as I mentioned, they are absolutely beautiful, the lines. But I decided to add a little bit of stamping with it because, you know, I am unusual abstract watercolor, not artist, but, you know, person who is learning the watercolor. So I like to experiment. And I do a lot of mark makings, but today I decided to actually use the stamp. And believe me, I had like really, really big problems with using the stamp because I was so afraid I'm gonna waste the page. But I really kind of wanted these lines from, this is my stamp. And I absolutely wanted the lines to be visible on this project. I kind of, when I created it and when I dried the paper and I look at it, I said like that would look so, so nicely with the lines from this stamp. By the way, this stamp is called Dotted and Line and you can find it in my shop. And as you can see, I am doing a little bit of masking so the lines don't go all over the place. I kind of wanted to keep them, you know, in these white spaces between these, I don't know, waves, blue waves. And I didn't add it everywhere because I think that if I add the stamping to every single white space, it wouldn't look too nice. It would look too overwhelming, I think. And so I decided to add it in a few spots only. And some of the stamping didn't work, like the one I made previously. It's way too short. And it was really, really very difficult for me to make this stamping because I had to make sure that the lines don't go over to the blue parts and also that they are actually not loop-sided but straight, which is always giving me a lot of headache to make the lines straight. And I couldn't fit the paper, of course, in my stamping platform, so that was also a bummer. I had to make do with what I had, and that's why also I use VersaFine ink because it's the ink which gives you the most detailed stamping. And yes, that was really needed here. And this is why also it's so good to have the paper, watercolor paper, which is not very textured, because if you have textured watercolor paper, the stamping will not stamp perfectly. You will have places when the stamps are just the parts of the stamp missing, basically. So without stamping platform, I do not advise you to actually stamp on the texture color paper or watercolor paper. And because I didn't like how some of the stamping finished, I decided to add a little bit of lines again to frame it a little bit more. And what I love about making these lines on this cotton paper is that you can actually twist your brush so much and make this nice kind of shape, you know, like the bristles will go in different directions and they will give you such a nice lines. And I think you could see that when I was doing the waves itself, and you can see it a little bit here. So this is one of my favorite methods now of doing watercolors, and maybe some of real watercolor artists are gonna scream at me that I'm wasting the brushes, but I don't mind. This is something I absolutely love to do now, to just take my to take my brush and just twist it as much as I can. It gives such a nice effect, something unexpected. And my problem when I am doing projects, my projects, especially the abstract ones, is that I overthink too much. Sometimes I get lost and I'm not sure where to finish or what to do next. So yes, the brain is switching on and is just trying to analyze too much, I think. But at the end, I think experimenting pays off. At least in case of this project, I'm really happy with the result. I hope you like it as well. And that would be all from me in this video. As always, I'm sending you big hugs. Thank you so very much for subscribing to my channel, for leaving a comment, and for checking out my shop. And I hope I'm gonna see you soon in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.